Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, January 11th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I expand through my responsibility to the shift. And that word could be exchange if necessary. Fill in your own blank there. All right, so one day closer to this extraordinary, crazy astro. We have made it through the peak of the eclipse. Now, let's be fair that eclipse energies do last several days, like the reverberations continue on for several days, and some say you can feel the effects of an eclipse up to 6 months. So it's not just wham bam over. What were the lessons? For a lot of people, it was just a lot of emotional clearing out. That being said, we do have the moon shifting. Now, this lunar shift, oh my God, I just realized I haven't even looked at the cards. You're seeing them the first time, with me. Oh, nice. This energy, whew, good or bad? I don't know. Okay, so we have the moon shifting from Cancer, that emotional outpouring that we've done, taking care of our inner infant, nesting, resting. I don't know about you, but full moons, after they reach the peak, they knock me out. Today, I was like a bump on a log. I cannot move. Now, moon shifting into Leo. Like I said, good or bad? I don't know. With the moon moving into Leo, we have all the fire signs present and accounted for. All the fire signs, very early degrees, are holding planetary energies. So that means we have a wide-ish grand trine in fire. Now, grand trines in fire are great, because they are inspiring. They zhuzh up our creativity. Good things can tie us into that energy. That's really nice. And yet, with the energies that are going on, this Saturn, Pluto, plus Mercury, Sarah's sun energy, power keg that's going on, this might be like lighting the fuse on the dynamite. We have to be very aware of our personal volcanoes as we have this grand trine in fire. The moon today, this is one of the big things. The moon today is trining with Mars. If you've been watching me for a long time, anytime we have moon and Mars connecting, there is a potential for fireworks. There is a potential for temper tantrums, throw yourself on the floor kind of temper tantrums. That, as we are facing our potentially deepest, darkest shift, our deepest, darkest stuff, you may not have the capacity to deal with the stuff and to deal with whatever frustrations that are coming up that are making you feel like you want to throw a temper tantrum. So be very aware of that. My plan is as much as possible, hunker down, keep doing the work, keep facing the stuff as it comes out. We may project on others, but it really is this inner work. Moon in Leo brings up the inner child. Are you tending to your inner child in and through this work? That is going to support and help you greatly. God, this is it's so interesting how many major arcana cards I keep pulling. I have an ace, and the rest are all major arcana cards. Hermit at the top, hermiting up, a good thing. Now, something I want to bring up with this that came on pretty strongly. As we face our shadows, I've said this many times. I said it in my patron video for this energy, and it's coming through again. Our ego would have us die before it likes to admit that we have been wrong or done wrong or something. That ego can be really strong. And with the moon in Leo, our ego can be very activated. And it may not just be about this life. It could be about many lifetimes. And I just want to say that just because you've done some stuff, fill in your own word, that may have been considered bad, potentially evil, whatever the judgment that has been cast upon it, it doesn't mean that you are bad. It doesn't mean that in this lifetime you have to continue carrying the guilt. This, to me, is about facing the shadows and be like, yeah, I've done some shift. I have done some stuff. I have lived, and man, I have been a human or whatever else in these lifetimes, and there are energies that I'm carrying that I am not necessarily proud of. It's not about continuing to carry that energy or the penance. It's about, did you learn the lesson? Do you have the understanding? So let your ego face these energies without having to bash yourself or turn yourself into worm meal on the ground, because I think sometimes, the purity that we feel within us, the purity doesn't judge us, but the part of ourselves, our mind, our ego even, that connects with that purity judges those other parts. Just because you've done something wrong, just because you have not shown up perfect, does not mean that you're bad. What is the lesson for you? Where is the understanding? Have you grasped that? Can you forgive yourself and let it go? Because this is a major transit for being able to let go of that really old stuff that we've been carrying and get back to the source of you, the source of your light. So pay attention to that, and be aware, like some of those triggers that are coming up right now may be connected to these places where you're like, I could have done better. Oh my God. There's a million possibilities. We all, I'm sure, could have done better with everything, but this is how it was, and it's okay. What is the lesson? Where is the understanding in that for you? I love that the moon in Leo is connecting to Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is now direct. Hooray! That Uranus and Taurus energy, 2 degrees, nurturing. Can you nurture yourself through the shift? Through these things that are coming up where you're like, the shame. Are you willing to face the shame? Because I feel like sometimes shame can be such an overwhelming feeling to have to face that we really tuck it deep down inside and really don't let ourselves access that. That also connects to the moon, connecting to Chiron. Chiron is that energy that's holding the Aries space right now. Chiron and Aries. It's okay that you have been what you are and who you are. It's okay that you have done what you have done. What is the lesson? What is that understanding? How have you grown from that? And how can you forgive yourself? That's just coming through really strongly with these energies. Now, that being said, like I said, Moon trine Mars. What time does that happen? That happens afternoon, about 2 p.m. Pacific time. So just notice around that time, a little bit before, a little bit after, if you feel those temper tantrums, those frustrations rising, it may be that you need to get this energy out. Energy needs a physical, especially with Mars, energy needs often a physical output. So figure out a way that you can physically let it out. I always think of Dr. Christiane Northrup. She talks about, have anything right here, but taking a towel and like thwacking it to get the energy out and like saying what's coming up. Be willing to do that for yourself in this energy. Or if it is throwing yourself on the floor and having a temper tantrum, maybe that's what's needed too. That being said, we reach the peak of Saturn conjunct Pluto tomorrow, Sunday morning at 8:58 a.m. And Mercury is moving in the wee hours before that to light it up. Ahas may be coming through. Understanding may be coming through. You may be feeling on a mental level deep, deep, deep processing. Hunker down. Hold the light for yourself because this is very intense. But this is hopeful. Breakthrough. And all of these major arcana cards are so powerful. The one I haven't mentioned is the Nothingness card, which is the Hierophant. There's a spiritual law happening. There's a spiritual unfolding that's happening in all of this, and you've got to keep trusting that. Even the Hermit card really reminds us of the spiritual energy, the monk. We can move through this eye of the needle, and just like I've been saying, keep pulling through by the power of your heart. Your heart knows how to forgive. Your heart knows who you are, despite any shame and shadows that you're carrying. So I will be back tomorrow for this Extreme Astro. But besides that, you can always book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com for that. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You do have the power, and just take it. Little by little, moment by moment. Namaste.